Thank God for my Siri. She really is my assistant, but I think she's getting dumber. I don't know. The updates have not been good.
They're the worst. I would much rather. I wish you could integrate like Chat GPT to be your actual Siri.
I know. Remember we talked about that, a long time ago, how Apple was getting with Google?
I don't know.
Apple's the smartest person on the planet. Like, Apple should be the technological highest advancement of our gadgets. Apple.
I agree with you. And I have I've got the watch, my, laptop, the phone, so it all syncs up. And I love that.
The iPods.
But I have truly considered going to an Android. Truly considered it. Because it's just a better, the Apple cameras aren't as good as the other.
Oh, no, the Samsung cameras are better.
And they're just smarter in general. I'm like, why am I sitting here hanging with Apple when they're just getting dumber?
I don't know. It's true. My Siri was much better. And now she picks up half of what I say. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I use her a lot. I'll be like, hey, Siri, remind me to talk about blah, blah, blah on the show. And
she didn't even come on that time.
No, because she knows. Hi, Siri. There she is. Oh, do you want me to respond? So anyway, I did have a Siri reminder set to talk about one-night stands. Oh. You know me. I'm very chatty. And we went out to a bar the other night, my wife and I, when we were up in the mountains. And we let the kids play putt-putt. And then we sat at the bar, and we were talking to this other couple. And they were actually from up in that area. And we were like, okay, we were talking about how, we met in Memphis, my wife and I, and then we kind of got into their story, and they were a one-night stand that turned into a marriage and 3 kids. Yep.
So because there's a difference between we hooked up on the first night and, meet each other, hook up, randomly meet each other out.
Yeah.
Hook up, then go our separate ways, and then end up together.
I don't know all the details. I do know that the bar that they met at no longer exists, and the bar that they met at, they left and went back and had a one-night stand, and then 3 nights later, they ran into each other again and have been together ever since.
That's a legit one-night stand. Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even 3 nights later counts as... Yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't, exchange. You ran into each other again.
They did.
Yeah.
They ran into each other again, and then they made it work, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, because even my wife was like, listen, not every one-night stand is a good situation. I remember when I was working in radio in California, this woman came up to me and she goes, hey, my friend and I want to go home with you tonight. And I was like, okay, where is she?
Okay.
The girl that came up to me was kind of hot, and I was like, okay, where is she? And she pointed her out. I go, swell. Okay. I go, listen, I'm thinking in my head, I don't make a ton of money in radio, so hey, this is the perks. I'm working an appearance at a club, and she comes up to me and she's like, hey, we want to go home with you. Sure enough, the end of the night comes. Now I'm driving and I'm doing a work event, so I'm sober. Mm-hmm. They're hammered. So they get in the car, they're in the back seat, and things start happening. And I was between them, and I was looking in the rear. They're both in the back seat. And I'm like, hey, what kind of action is this? I thought this was going to be the 3 of us, not me driving the 2 of you. So we get back to my apartment, and all of a sudden the one girl, not the girl who came up to me, the other girl's phone starts blowing up. And she's like, I got to get this. It's my husband. Oh. I'm like, you know what?
This is not.
Yeah, and this is before Uber. Mm-hmm. So guess who's driving her back to her husband? Me. And they both get out of the car and they're gone. So some one-night stand for me. It was a no-night stand. But I want to know from you, what's your one-night stand story? Were you like the couple that I met, where you ended up marrying or dating your one-night stand for a little while? Or was there a one-night stand disaster that you would like to share with us? Either way, we want to know your one-night stand story. 980-780-9595. If you're married, I know it's hard. You got to think back to your party years. Maybe you're someone who's young and listening to the show right now, and you're in the middle of the one-night stand era. A lot of people are texting in success stories on a one-night stand situation. We want to know what your one-night stand story is. 980-780-9595. I met a couple, and they're now married with 3 kids, one-night stand, and then ran into each other 3 days later and have been together ever since. But they don't all go that way. That's for sure. Got a couple people on hold. This is Heather. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning.
You have a successful one-night stand story?
Well, it was successful for about 9 years. So, yeah.
That
Okay.
counts. 9 years is a long stand.
Yeah, we got, so he came home with me and kind of never left, and we got married, had 2 kids, and then about 9 years later, we divorced.
Okay. But I mean, that was 9 years, right? I mean, you guys had a connection from the first night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, Heather. All right. Well, good luck with your next one-night stand if you're not remarried.
I'm not getting married again.
Yeah, and don't tell
she's
the
done.
Yeah, and don't stick around for 9 years like my last one-night stand. That's
Yeah.
what you got to say. Thanks, Heather. I met my husband at my sister's wedding. We did the deed, and he lived in Texas at the time. Been together for 10 years. Let's see. I had a one-night stand. Ended up pregnant, but couldn't find him for years.
Whoa.
I finally found him when my child was 5. He's now married with another child.
Wow.
Yeah, that could get.
How does that work?
I don't know. That gets a little messy, though, right? I mean, that's the one thing you got to be careful about with these one-night stands is, bless you, things can get messy. Hey, Marcus, you agree that not all one-night stands are great or are fun? Some could be horrible.
So I go to the bar with one of my buddies, and, we're at the bar, I'm talking to this girl, and next thing you know, we're like, oh, let's just go back to your place. And I'm like, oh,
morning,
this
Maney
is
and Lorraine.
perfect. So we go back to her place. She's like, all right, well, I'm going to take you back to the bar. I have work in the morning. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. So
You didn't even make a full night, Marcus. You were there.
No.
That was like a 1-hour stand.
I was there. We did our thing. And then she's like, well, I got to work. And I'm like,
Get
well,
out.
bring me back to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. I ended up crashing at my buddy's house. I call an Uber in the morning, and guess who's my Uber driver?
The one-night stand.
Get out of
It
here.
was my one-night stand.
Get out of here. That is poetic.
I couldn't believe it. It was one of the most awkward things I have ever done.
Well, what happens? You get in the car, and she recognizes you, obviously. Do you go back to her place for another hour?
No, she didn't want to do it. I said, you know what, we should. And she's like, you know what, I'll let you know. And I'm like, oh, man.
And you never heard from her again?
I never heard from her again. It was awkward.
She didn't even want to exchange numbers. Nothing.
She felt so awkward. It was really embarrassing.
Dude, what are the chances?
I don't know, but that's crazy.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Marcus,
It was
thanks for
so
sharing, dude.
crazy.
Thanks for listening to the
You
show.
got it.
Okay.
Have a good day, y'all.
You too. Text messages are coming in and more calls. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get to them next. Your one-night stand story. That's what we're talking about. I don't even remember why we're talking about it, but here we are.
Okay.
Oh, I remember. We ran into a couple in the mountains who were a one-night stand and then met 3 days
Success
later
story.
and have been married and they have 3 kids now. It was a success story, but they're not
beautiful.
all success stories, that's for sure. In fact, Dom can speak on that behalf. What's up, Dom? You had a bad one-night stand experience.
Yeah. So I'll picture the setting real quick. It was Dominican Republic, early 2000s. My parents were from over there, so over there I was already accustomed to how they move around there. So I was talking to this chick. We're at a bar, restaurant. We went there after that. We're like, hey, listen, you want to keep on going, having fun? Let's go to my place, which is my parents' house over there. Went there. At that time, the power went out while we were in the middle of the act.
The power went out. Okay.
And, yeah, it was still it goes out over there at that time, like randomly.
Okay.
It's still around that time, so it was the middle of the night. Power went out, but it was a clear night, so we
Dom, what happened? Get to the
you
good
gotta
part.
get to land the plane, Dom.
So I was on the bottom of the bed. She was on top. She was moving around, and I could see from the reflection from the moonlight from the window. You could see her face like puff up like a chipmunk, and I was like, oh hell no. And right then and there, she proceeded to vomiting all over my chest.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Thanks, buddy.
That will definitely end the mood.
That'll do it.
Brittany, Dom got thrown up on. What happened with your one-night stand?
It was my first ever date with my now husband. He planned like a really cute date. We got milkshakes and walked around a garden, and then we were in my car afterwards. And I used to drive a Jeep, and I very not so subtly was like, "Hey, my seats go down in the back," and we didn't end up hooking up after that. We had the best day ever. We literally sat in the car and talked for hours, but he does not let me live it down now. He'll randomly be like, "Oh, so your seats go down?" It's been 11 years.
You
so.
tried to make it a first night stand.
Yes, I did. I tried to make, just to hook up one night stand, and here we are. So
There you go. Married and happy. I love it.
that's
Thanks,
right.
Brittany. Brandon, what about you, buddy? What's your one night stand story?
Yeah, so I met a girl back in, probably 2015. We talked a bit, and I ghosted her. It went pretty well, though, but, just had other things going on at the time. We actually then matched, I guess it was in 2018, on some dating app, and I thought, you know what, why not?
I'm glad you recognized her, though, and you recognized her on the app and not when you got there in person.
I did, I did. So I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. But yeah, so that was in 2018, then the pandemic hit, and we basically moved in together. And to make a long story short, we're married for almost 4 years, and she's 6.5 months pregnant and currently scrolling through baby Instagram reels and crying on the couch.
I love it. I love it. Well, congratulations, Brandon. Thanks for sharing, and thanks to everyone who texted and is sharing. And I'm happy to say most of the messages and people that are on hold that we didn't even get to are all talking about positive one-night stand stories that blossomed into a relationship somehow.
That's great because I go missing.
Hey, it's Loren from the Maney and Loren Morning Show. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and like this video. If you want to see more videos, you can always check out our behind the scenes content or our War of the Roses.